A strong hold over current affairs is your way to succeed in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Brace yourself and get detailed coverage of relevant news both nationally and internationally. With the monthly current affairs revision program starting from 26th October at 5 p.m. Enroll today and elevate your current affairs knowledge with comprehensive coverage of current affairs compiled through relevant sources such as the Hindu Indian Express, Economic Times, PIB Yojana, and others. Expert support and personalized mentoring. Comprehensive assessment through MCQs and mains-oriented questions.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. 16th BRICS Summit concluded with the adoption of the Kazan Declaration. Rights of Persons with Disabilities Amendment Rules 2024 notified. Supreme Court issues directions to ensure prisoners get free and timely legal aid. States have the power to regulate industrial alcohol or denatured spirit, says Supreme Court. India's first ever Great Indian Bustard hatched through artificial insemination. Commitment to Reducing Inequality Index 2024 released. The 16th BRICS Summit has successfully concluded with the adoption of the Kazan Declaration, a significant step for the bloc. Hosted by Russia in the vibrant city of Kazan, the summit centered around the theme of strengthening multilateralism for just global development and security. Now, let's dive into the key highlights of the Kazan Declaration. It is a comprehensive document that outlines crucial areas of cooperation among BRICS nations and articulates their unified stance on various global issues. First up, we have a strong emphasis on global governance and multilateralism. The declaration includes a commitment to cooperate on international financial architecture reform, which is essential for fostering global economic stability. Moving on to economic cooperation, the BRICS cross-border payment system aims to minimize trade barriers and ensure non-discriminatory access while promoting the use of local currencies. Additionally, the BRICS Clear Depository is set to provide an independent cross-border settlement and depository infrastructure, facilitating smoother transactions. The BRICS Interbank Cooperation Mechanism, or ICM, will expand innovative financial practices for various projects, including finding acceptable financing mechanisms in local currencies. A noteworthy initiative introduced is the BRICS Grain Exchange, proposed by the Russian side, which aims to establish a commodities trading platform within BRICS. Beyond these initiatives, the declaration highlights the establishment of the BRICS R&D Vaccine Center and the BRICS Integrated Early Warning System, which are crucial for preventing mass infectious disease risks. Moreover, it recognizes India's initiative to create an international Big Cats Alliance, showcasing BRICS' commitment to wildlife conservation. In an exciting development, the declaration also endorsed the creation of a BRICS partner country category, which is not full membership. Officially, 30 new partner countries have been added, including Cuba, Turkey, and Vietnam. To give you a brief background on BRICS, the acronym was coined by British economist Jim O'Neill in 2001 and was formalized during the first meeting of BRIC foreign ministers in 2006. The group became BRICS with the inclusion of South Africa in 2010. Currently, the BRICS membership include 10 countries: Brazil, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Iran, Russia, South Africa, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. However, Saudi Arabia's membership is still pending for final confirmation.
In a significant development, the Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has notified the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Amendment Rules 2024 under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. Let's take a closer look at the key highlights of these amended rules. Firstly, regarding the application for disability certificates, applicants will now need to provide several required documents, including proof of identity, a recent photograph which should not be older than 6 months, and an Aadhaar card. It's important to note that only a medical authority or a notified competent medical authority at the district level can issue these certificates based on the applicant's proof of residence. Now, in terms of processing time, it has been extended from 1 month to 3 months. Additionally, there's a new application lapse clause. Applications will lapse or become inactive if they remain undecided for over 2 years. Applicants must then reapply or contact the authority to reactivate their application. Another important update is the introduction of new color-coded Unique Disability Identity or UDID cards. The cards will now be categorized into 3 colors: white for disabilities below 40%, yellow for disabilities between 40% and 80%, and blue for disabilities of 80% or above. However, there are concerns regarding the amended rules. One significant issue is the exclusion of persons without an Aadhaar card, particularly those living in rural areas or from marginalized communities. Furthermore, the longer processing time of 3 months may create hurdles for genuine persons with disabilities, making it challenging for them to obtain certification, which is essential for accessing services and entitlements. To provide some context, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 defines a person as having a disability if they experience a physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairment. The Act recognizes 21 categories of disabilities and prohibits discrimination against persons with disabilities in all aspects of life, including employment, education, and healthcare. In conclusion, while the amended rules aim to streamline processes, they also highlight the need for inclusive measures to ensure that all persons with disabilities can access their rights and entitlements.
In a recent development, the Supreme Court of India has issued crucial practice directions to ensure that the benefits of legal aid schemes promoted by Legal Services Authority reach those in need. The decision was delivered by a 2-judge bench in the case of Suhas Chakma versus Union of India. Let's take a closer look at the key directions of the court. The National Legal Services Authority or NALSA, in collaboration with state and district legal services authorities, will now ensure that standard operating procedures (SOPs) on access to legal aid services for prisoners are implemented efficiently. Moving forward, awareness generation is a key focus. The court has emphasized the need for literature, including in local languages in the states, and promotional methods to reach the intended beneficiaries. This will promote legal aid services so that no one is left behind in accessing justice. Moreover, to enhance visibility, display boards featuring contact information for nearest legal aid offices will be placed in public areas like police stations, post offices, bus stands, and railway stations. But what is the legal framework supporting legal aid? Article 39A of the Indian Constitution mandates the state to provide free legal aid, ensuring no citizen is denied justice due to economic or other disabilities. The Legal Services Authority Act of 1987 establishes a comprehensive legal and institutional framework aimed at providing legal aid. This act is instrumental in the formation of legal services authorities, which are set up at the national, state, district, and taluka levels. Furthermore, it facilitates the establishment of legal services committees in various judicial tiers, including the Supreme Court, High Courts, District Courts, and Taluka Courts. In terms of eligibility, legal aid is extended to women and children, members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, industrial workmen, people with disabilities, victims of human trafficking, beggars, or those affected by mass disasters. It is also available to those in custody in protective homes, juvenile homes, or in a psychiatric hospital. This move by the Supreme Court is expected to ensure that legal aid reaches all citizens, particularly the most vulnerable, ensuring access to justice is not a privilege but a right. In a significant judgment, the Supreme Court of India has held that the term intoxicating liquor in entry 8 of List 2, also known as the State List, of the 7th Schedule of the Constitution, will now include industrial alcohol. This ruling came in the case of State of UP versus Lalta Prasad Vaish and marks a reversal of an earlier 1990 judgment in the Synthetics and Chemicals Limited versus State of UP case, which had stated that intoxicating liquor referred only to potable alcohol, effectively preventing states from taxing industrial alcohol. Now, let's dive into the background of this issue. Currently, the regulation of industrial alcohol falls under the Union Government, which governs it through the Industries Development and Regulation Act of 1951. The Union Government defended this law by deriving its authority from Entry 52 of the Union List and Entry 33 of the Concurrent List. Entry 52 covers industries, while Entry 33 covers trade, commerce, production, supply, and distribution. On the other hand, the states argued that industrial alcohol could be misused to illegally produce consumable alcohol, necessitating the enactment of specific legislation. Now, a bit about industrial alcohol itself. This form of alcohol is one of the two major types, the other being usable alcohol. Usable alcohol refers to ethyl alcohol or ethanol, which is intended for human consumption. Industrial alcohol, on the other hand, typically refers to isopropyl alcohol or isopropanol or denatured alcohol. Ethanol mixed with additives that make it unfit for drinking. Substances are added to industrial alcohol to make it poisonous or unpleasant to taste, ensuring that it is used exclusively for non-consumable purposes. Now let's take a closer look at the main applications of industrial alcohol. In the manufacturing sector, industrial alcohol is used as a solvent in paints, varnishes, and adhesives. This makes it essential for the production of these materials. It also plays a vital role in cleaning, particularly for cleaning equipment and surfaces, where effective sanitation and maintenance are required. Another key application is as a fuel source. Industrial alcohol powers stoves, lamps, and even vehicles, contributing to energy needs. In the medical field, industrial alcohol is invaluable as a disinfectant or preservative, ensuring cleanliness and the preservation of medical equipment and supplies. The Supreme Court's ruling could have far-reaching implications for both the central and state governments, particularly regarding revenue generation and industrial regulation.
In a significant milestone for wildlife conservation, India has successfully hatched its first ever Great Indian Bustard through artificial insemination. This groundbreaking achievement took place at the National Breeding Centre in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan, under the Bustard Recovery Program. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the Bustard Recovery Project. This initiative commenced with an initial 5-year plan from 2016 to 2021, which has now been extended to 2024. The project's objectives include conservation breeding, capacity building, and raising awareness among stakeholders and decision makers about the importance of bustard conservation. The program also aims to incentivize bustard-friendly land uses. Locally known as Godawan in Rajasthan, this magnificent bird primarily inhabits the grasslands of Rajasthan and Gujarat, with small populations found in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. In terms of conservation status, the Great Indian Bustard is classified as critically endangered by the IUCN and is listed under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 as well as Appendix 1 of CITES. Alarmingly, there are fewer than 150 individuals left in the wild, and they are almost exclusively found in India. Moving on to their behavior and characteristics, the Great Indian Bustard is a grassland species endemic to the Indian subcontinent. It is distinguished by its striking black crown on the forehead, with males featuring larger black crowns. During courtship, males possess a gula pouch that they will fill with air and exhale, producing a unique humming sound to attract females. As omnivores, they feed on grass seeds, insects like grasshoppers, and beetles, and occasionally small rodents and reptiles. However, the species faces numerous threats, including hunting, habitat loss, collisions with power lines, and widespread agricultural expansion. In conclusion, the successful hatching of the Great Indian Bustard through artificial insemination marks a hopeful step towards preserving this critically endangered species. In our next story, the Commitment to Reducing Inequality or CRI Index for 2024 has been released. This index, produced by Oxfam and Development Finance International, assesses the commitment of 164 countries and regions to combat inequality. Now, as many of you know, the Sustainable Development Goal 10 aims to reduce inequality. The CRI evaluated performance based on 3 critical parameters: public services spending, progressive taxation, and labor rights and wages. Let's take a closer look at the key highlights of the index. In terms of rankings, the top performers are Norway, Canada, and Australia, demonstrating strong commitments to reducing inequality. Conversely, the worst performers include South Sudan and Nigeria. Notably, India ranks at 127, while other South Asian nations such as Nepal and Sri Lanka have outperformed India, ranking at 115 and 118 respectively. Moving on to a concerning trend, the index reveals a rising gap between Global South and the Global North, which has accelerated more rapidly than at any time since World War II. This gap has resulted in billions of people facing the dire challenges of high and rising food prices and hunger. Alarmingly, the number of billionaires has doubled in the last decade. The key factors driving this inequality include conflict, a debt crisis, and climate shocks, which are severely constraining spending in low and lower middle income countries. In fact, 84% of countries have reduced their spending on essential services such as education, health, and social protection. To address these issues, the CRI Index outlines several key recommendations. Firstly, countries should implement realistic and time-bound National Inequality Reduction Plans or NIRPs with regular monitoring to track progress. It's also recommended that all nations ensure their health budget constitutes at least 15% of total public expenditure, with education accounting for 20%. Additionally, there's a call to increase progressive taxation by taxing the income of the wealthiest 1%. Now let's focus on the measures being taken to reduce inequality in India. The government has introduced several initiatives such as the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which aims to create jobs. Financial inclusion efforts like the PM Jan Dhan Yojana are also in place, alongside educational initiatives such as the Right to Education Act of 2009. Other initiatives like Startup India are also contributing to this effort. In conclusion, while there are challenges ahead, the commitment to addressing inequality remains crucial for global progress. In today's Place in News, we are turning our attention to Turkey with its capital, Ankara. Recently, Turkey has been making headlines for striking Kurdish militant targets in both Iraq and Syria. Now let's delve into some of the political features of Turkey. This unique country lies partly in Asia and partly in Europe, making it a fascinating intersection of cultures and influences. It shares borders with several countries. To the northeast, it neighbors Georgia and Armenia. To the east, Azerbaijan and Iran. To the southeast, Iraq and Syria. And to the northwest, Greece and Bulgaria. Turkey is bounded by 3 significant water bodies: the Black Sea to the north, the Mediterranean Sea to the southwest, and the Aegean Sea to the west. Among the major rivers in this region, we have the Euphrates, Tigris, and Kızılırmak. And speaking of heights, the highest point in Turkey is Mount Ararat, a landmark of great significance. Additionally, important straits such as the Bosphorus and Dardanelles play a crucial role in connecting the seas surrounding this diverse nation.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Recently, the Union government notified the appointment of 4 additional judges to the Bombay High Court for a period of 2 years. Additional judges are appointed by the President of India under Article 224(1) for a term not exceeding 2 years, as specified by the President. The Delhi High Court recently stated that the National Commission for Scheduled Castes, or NCSC, does not have the authority to investigate or issue directions in the manner of a civil or criminal court. The NCSC is a constitutional body established under Article 338 of the Constitution. It is composed of a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and 3 other members, all appointed by the President of India. India is set to build its first convective cloud chamber at the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, or IITM, Pune, under Mission Mausam. Launched to improve weather forecasting in the country, Mission Mausam also aims to manage specific weather events such as rainfall, hail, and fog. International Snow Leopard Day was celebrated on October 23rd. Also known as Panthera ansea, snow leopards are native to the rugged mountain ranges of Central and South Asia, with 12 countries being home to their habitat, including India. It is also the state animal of Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh. Delhi has signed an MOU with the Centre to implement the PM Shri, or PM Schools for Rising India scheme. Launched in 2022, this scheme is a centrally sponsored initiative with the aim of establishing over 14,500 PM Shri schools by enhancing existing schools run by the central government, state or United Territory governments, and local bodies. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment emphasized the impact of the PM Yashasvi, or PM Young Achievers Scholarship Award scheme for Vibrant India initiative. The objective of PM Yashasvi is to provide streamlined educational support to students from socially and economically disadvantaged backgrounds. Recently, authorities in several countries have seized pink cocaine, also known as Tussi. Despite its name, pink cocaine rarely contains actual cocaine. Instead, it typically consists of ketamine, a drug with entirely different effects. Pink cocaine is known for its hallucinogenic properties. The Zyvac TCV vaccine has received pre-qualification status from the WHO, making it eligible for United Nations procurement programs. This typhoid V conjugate vaccine offers active immunization against the bacterium Salmonella typhi infection. Conjugate vaccines are a type of subunit vaccines where antigens are linked to polysaccharides from the microbe's outer coat to enhance the immune response. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.